Art is among the many ways we express ourselves. After centuries, many styles of art through painting have been made. The history of painting dates back in the period of prehistoric humans. Ancient paintings have been preserved on the walls of caves. This form of art developed over thousands of years, from the early humans, ancient civilizations, the Renaissance era, and finally to our modern world as we know today. Approximately dating from 30,000 to 10,000 BC, it has been theorized that Neanderthals, or an extinct species of humans closely related to us today, have created these simple paintings. These artworks can be found all over the world in countries like Australia, Portugal, China, India, and more. During the Paleolithic era, the portraits of human beings were rare to find. Most of the paintings were resembling animals they hunt. Some people assume that they painted animals in order to catch their soul, to capture and hunt them without difficulty. The cave walls were adorned with bright, vibrant colors. One significant cave that holds multiple, yet beautiful paintings can be found in the cave of Altamira, located in Spain. Over a span of thousands of years, more cultures emerged, namely Egypt and Mesopotamia, or ancient civilizations did their own style of art. Their tombs, or pyramids, were for rich and powerful Egyptian rulers. These fascinating tombs were decorated with ancient Egyptian art. They believed that if the person's image was set in the stone of their tomb, their soul would continue to exist and live in the afterlife. Including the Mesopotamian civilization, the era lasted from about 32,000 to 332 BC. Mesopotamians mostly expressed their art forms through pottery with clay. Since clay can be easily weathered and eroded away by rain, it's possible that many of their wall paintings were destroyed as well. What remained, though, was truly astonishing. Decorated ceramic tiles, which are pottery that has been fired and painted, and colorful mosaics. Since mosaics are not classified as a painting, it caused a great influence among other forms of painting. The Greeks had temples dedicated to their gods and goddesses. The temples were decorated with large murals. The downside, though, the Greeks rarely painted in tombs for their dead, resulting their masterpieces and works to be unprotected. Even if their artwork is gone, some Greek painters are still known for their splendid work. The only form of art that seemed to survive for the Greeks were pottery paintings. The industry of pottery was huge in Greece, more specifically in Athens. Due to the large income of exports, containers were in high demand. Even the art of pottery evolved as well. It started out as decorating the vases and pots with geometric shapes. It later developed to using black paint on red vases, depicting human figures and geometric shapes. At its final form, the common theme on the paintings seemed to only represent humans. With another major ancient civilization, Rome had their form of painting. They painted murals, or large wall paintings, and were prominently found in the villas in both Pompeii and Herculaneum. Unfortunately, these two cities were buried by the rubble because of the eruption of volcano Vesuvius. Almost every wall of the homes were covered with murals. The ancient painters made their paint using a variety of mixtures. To give a finishing touch, the murals were polished until it gave a marble-like shine. In the turn of ages in the 6th to 11th centuries in AD, they were commonly called the Dark Ages. Art was well lived and alive in this era. In the early 5th century, barbarian tribes who traveled all over Europe and Asia produced an art that had a main focus of pattern. It was their signature art style of designing dragons and birds. Later in the Dark Ages or late medieval era, painters were using different techniques to achieve realism. This period of art was filled with portraits of humans, including religious figures, due to the rise of Christianity, rather than the traditional mural and paintings that tell of the past. These artists were able to perfect realism by adding details. Oil painting was invented, and was made to paint little and minor details less difficult. Countless thousands of years passed, and civilizations had their own forms of artwork, either appreciated today or lost in time forever. Art rose in the United States before the early 20th century. It consisted of portraits and paintings of nature, which were heavily influenced by European art styles. After the two world wars, painting reached its peak in the United States. Many new styles were invented and inspired masses. A style of painting emerged, which was called action painting or abstract expressionism. Color, design, rhythm, and application of paint were significant in this style. This new, fresh, and exciting technique is one of the many attempts of trying to get originality of painting in the 20th century. Other styles like pop art started spreading. It was an imposing take on abstract expressionism. These two styles both inspired the mind and widened eyes. By the middle 1960s, op or obstacle art was famous. Paintings were created in such a style that it tricks our eyes and becomes a vital part of the artist's style. Over the years, painting is one of the greatly appreciated forms of art. How it developed from ancient storytelling paintings to popping vibrant artwork in a new perspective is truly an extraordinary journey.